Whoa. First things first. Today, we're going to talk about the unusual actions of nature that were captured on camera. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any interesting videos. Let's go. By the village. Each year, residents of Newfoundland, Canada watch icebergs pass by. In fact, it sounds like a great reason to move to Canada. Just think about it. There's a place called Iceberg Alley, and in the spring, you can watch a stunning natural show. In April 2017, the local residents of Fairyland were super lucky to have a huge iceberg stuck in the ground near the coast. It's a whole ice mountain, about 147.6 feet high. It was about 17 stories high and about 49.2 feet larger than the iceberg that sank the Titanic. The mayor of Fairyland admitted that this is the biggest iceberg he's ever seen in his life. Border of the Rain. They say if you find the end of the rainbow,
double rainbow all the way across the sky. Oh my God,
you can find a pot of gold. And if you find the border of the rain, you'll find the border of the rain. And you can take some cool shots, but it shouldn't be windy or it'll ruin the whole effect. In fact, you've probably experienced something like this before, like when it's pouring in one part of the city and yours is completely dry. Imagine the faces of these poor people on the bus. They didn't think they'd get caught in the rain after a couple of stops. Tumbleweed attack. A dusty road, several houses, men with hats and revolvers, and of course a tumbleweed that slowly rolls across the street. Perfect shot for a good old-school Western. But if you add a couple of hundred tumbleweeds and the right music, the Western will turn into a horror movie. It's a scene from Owhee County, Idaho, and it looks like a whole bunch of tumbleweeds have hit the road. This plant is harmless, but not when there are so many of them. One leads to another, and then, well, you get it. They can even block the roads. And these things also move all the time. They don't even care if people try to do anything about it. Sudden hail. If you've never been in a hailstorm, consider yourself very lucky. It can be dangerous, it's unpleasant, and it hurts like hell. Especially when it comes out of the blue. On July 12, 2014, in the Russian city of Novosibirsk, Fahrenheit. As is often the case, the heat was replaced by a hurricane wind and a hailstorm. The hurricane tore trees, cut wires, ripped roofs off houses. Now imagine the shock of people who were at the beach at that moment and didn't expect the weather to go bad. You must be asking, what about the storm warning? Well, it probably just wasn't there. The video shows how people didn't immediately understand the danger. Some people came out of the water slowly, tried to cover their heads with their hands or towels, and others thought they were going to stay in the river. Perhaps they hoped that the hail would end quickly. What do you think? Would you have stayed in the water in such a situation? Let us know in the comments below. What would you do if you were suddenly caught in this kind of hail? Locust invasion. Locusts are often associated with something like a natural disaster or plague, and it's no coincidence. Locust infestations don't happen so often, but when they do, it looks pretty scary, like some kind of horror film. In 2013, locust infestation hit Madagascar. First, the population increased. Then, suitable conditions appeared, and boom.
Whoa, block out the sun. Here we come.
By the end of March 2013, about 50% of the county's territory was infested with swarms of locusts, and each swarm had over 1 billion insects. Also, locusts aren't ants. These insects are really big in size, so when you go outside, you see absolutely nothing but insects. Front, back, side, top, there are locusts everywhere. It's a farmer's nightmare. And each individual is ready to devour the crops. And locusts also enjoy eating grass, destroying pastures for cattle. That's good they're not carnivorous. Avalanche versus cars. If somebody tells you that man is the king of nature, just show them this video. You can show the rest of our videos too. but they're a little off topic. So on March 24th, 2018, over a dozen avalanches occurred in the Elbrus region for some reason. Actually, it's not that the mountains need an excuse to do something like this. One of the avalanches went straight to the car park. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the incident was taped. And if you think for some reason that the pile of snow that's sliding down the mountain is okay, then look, it easily moves the cars and pushes them up against each other. In the end, there was so much snow that it completely covered up 15 cars. It took about 6 hours to dig them all up. Arachnophobes' nightmare. Warning, if you're afraid of spiders, then close your eyes, baby. We'll tell you when you can open them. You ready? Well, you can bump into a spider web anywhere. Probably right now, somewhere in the corner of your room, some little spider's hoping to catch something for dinner. And that's okay. But what happened in Greece in 2018 is a real nightmare. It's a scene from a horror movie. A lake in the north of the country was covered by almost 0.6 miles of spider web made by spider hordes. Roadside bushes, fences, small trees, and even buildings. Everything was covered with spiders called tetragantha. And although the locals were terrified, experts have assured us that it was quite natural. Easy for them to say. High temperature plus humidity helped the gnats breed, and the spiders thought they should follow. A large amount of food caused the population to grow, and the growth of the population caused this situation. Apparently, to calm people down even more, scientists happily reported that these spiders would continue to breed because weather conditions allow them to do it. Okay, let's get this over with. Arachnophobes, open your eyes now. We can move on. Ice houses. Do you like winter? You imagine something from a Christmas movie with fluffy white snow, decorated houses, funny hats, and hot cocoa. And what about an icy wind that'll turn your town into a place that looks like Antarctica? Seriously, add some penguins here and you can't tell the difference. In early March, winter visited the city of Hamburg, which is by Lake Erie in the United States, and it was in a bad mood.
Look at the trees.
It's all the ice build up from the lake.
Gee, I never see a house like this.
In 2 days, strong winds and 4-meter waves covered everything with a thick layer of ice. And by everything, we mean really everything. Even houses were packed into an icy shell, 0.7 to 2.7 inches thick. Now, imagine you wake up in the morning in a great mood. You're going to go outside, you open your door, take a step, and wham! You crash into a thick wall of ice. Let's say you manage to get out, and you slip immediately, and you can't get up because all the roads and sidewalks are covered in ice too, and it looks very beautiful. But I don't think anyone would want to live in such an icy prison. Agree? Abnormal heat. Global warming. The climate is changing because of human actions. Nature is suffering. Soon, we will all be... Okay, you know how it is. Let's take a better look at what the heat is really capable of. 109.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Asshole.
And the world starts to melt. Literally. Trash cans, mailboxes, vinyl records.
It's so flexible. I can just bend it.
Hell, even a cactus couldn't take it. This is what the last days before the end of the world will look like. But if you like to eat, you can benefit even from high temperatures. The world is on fire, so why not have a snack? You don't even have to turn on the oven to bake cookies or fry eggs. The weather will do it for you. Do you remember when you could only do such experiments somewhere in the Sahara? Foam party. If you pour shampoo or foam into the fountains, you'll get a lot of foam. Don't do that. And why use all kinds of chemicals when you just have to wait for a powerful cyclone? Like Cyclone Oswald, which hit the coast of Australia in 2013. Okay, actually, it caused a lot of trouble and $2.5 billion in damage, so there's nothing good here. But also, the cyclone threw a foam party for the locals. No kidding. A lot of sea foam just fell out on the beaches, quays, and streets of cities. Strange way to apologize. Hey guys, I flooded a bunch of houses, made landslides, and ruined terrorism, but I have foam! Yay! Still, it looked like the ocean had decided to cover everything with a thick layer of whipped cream. Very thick, the foam was up to 9.84 feet high in some places. To avoid accidents, the police even had to close certain roads. And although the foam must have smelled like fish, it didn't stop the locals. When else could you take these pictures? That's it. Watch the weather reports. Don't leave your car at the foot of the mountain and be healthy. We'll see you later. And don't forget to give us some likes.